Welcome to Iraqi Dinar Update, your go-to source for the latest news, expert insights, and real-time developments on Iraq's currency, economy, and financial reforms. Whether you're a long-time investor or just curious about the dinar, you're in the right place. Donald Trump, known for his unyielding approach to international economic policy, has frequently emphasized a core principle during both his presidency and his post-presidential influence over Republican foreign policy. If other nations want to engage in economic exchange with the United States, they must abide by what he sees as fair trade practices. Central to this philosophy is the expectation that foreign currencies must be treated equitably in their relationship with the US dollar. This viewpoint is not just about the superficial balance of trade or the imposition of tariffs. Rather, it reflects a deeper and more strategic doctrine that insists on monetary fairness, one that could significantly impact how countries like Iraq position their economies in relation to the American financial system. Trump's messaging in this regard has been direct and unwavering. If a nation seeks to benefit from access to the American market, then it must engage with the dollar on terms that are reciprocal, transparent, and beneficial to the U.S. economy. This means countries must avoid artificially manipulating their exchange rates to gain unfair advantages. Trump's idea of playing fair with the dollar encompasses a rejection of currency devaluation practices that make foreign exports cheaper while disadvantaging American manufacturers and workers. When he points his finger at countries, whether it's China, Vietnam, or Iraq, he is signaling a broader battle over monetary policy as a tool of economic nationalism. In this context, Iraq, a country in the midst of modernizing its banking and financial infrastructure, finds itself under the scrutiny of these expectations. The relationship between Iraq and the United States is not simply about military alliances or geopolitical strategies. It also includes complex economic entanglements. Iraq has long relied on U.S. support, both politically and economically, and a significant part of this support structure involves financial oversight, particularly concerning the U.S. dollar. For decades, Iraq's foreign currency reserves, trade settlements, and even its internal monetary stability have been tightly interwoven with dollar-based mechanisms. When Trump says to Iraq, "You have to play fair with the exchange rate of your currency with the exchange rate of my dollar," it's a message that echoes through the chambers of Baghdad's financial institutions. It suggests that the time for opaque or inconsistent exchange rate policies is over. Trump is insisting that Iraq must establish a stable, fair, and perhaps market-reflective value for the Iraqi dinar, IQD, one that doesn't allow for hidden subsidies or exploitative valuation strategies. If Iraq undervalues its dinar in a way that encourages cheap exports or allows dollar hoarding and black market arbitrage, Trump, and policymakers aligned with him, view that as an affront to American economic interests. Second, Trump's warning implicitly calls for greater transparency. For years, Iraq's financial sector has struggled with issues of corruption, inefficient currency auctions, and weak regulatory oversight. These issues distort exchange rates, reduce investor confidence, and encourage illicit dollar outflows. From Trump's perspective, allowing such practices to persist while benefiting from U.S. economic engagement constitutes an unacceptable imbalance. In effect, he is saying, if Iraq wants to use the dollar, it must do so under rules that ensure integrity, openness, and reciprocal benefit. Third, there's the geopolitical angle. Trump's policies often tie economic expectations to diplomatic alignment. Countries that play fair with the dollar are also expected to align with broader American strategic goals. For Iraq, whose political landscape is frequently influenced by both U.S. and Iranian interests, the expectation is that financial alignment with the U.S., including currency reforms, also signals geopolitical alignment. The dollar, in Trump's worldview, becomes both an economic and diplomatic instrument. Iraq's adherence to playing fair with it is thus not just a technical financial matter, but a statement about its alliances and future trajectory. Trump's insistence on currency fairness also connects to his broader critique of globalism. He argues that international financial systems have been manipulated to America's detriment, and that rebalancing trade and currency relations is necessary to restore national strength. In this light, his message to Iraq is not just about Iraq. It's part of a global recalibration in which America reasserts control over the terms of trade, currency exchange, and economic cooperation. Countries that want to be part of this new paradigm must embrace monetary policies that are both honest and beneficial to American interests. For Iraq, this could be both an opportunity and a challenge. On the one hand, aligning with Trump's monetary expectations might fast-track its efforts to stabilize the dinar, rebuild its financial credibility, and attract foreign investment. It could also ease Iraq's path toward joining international financial organizations like the World Trade Organization, where currency stability and transparent monetary policy are prerequisites. On the other hand, failure to meet these expectations could result in sanctions, restricted access to the U.S. financial system, and a cooling of bilateral relations, outcomes that could severely damage Iraq's economic future. Trump's message, distilled to its core, is a call for accountability. If you want the privileges of trading with the United States, if you want access to its consumer market, financial institutions, and diplomatic cover, then you must respect the foundational mechanisms that support its economy. Chief among these is the dollar, the world's reserve currency, which Trump sees as a reflection of American strength and global leadership. To him, any country, whether a longtime ally or a fledgling democracy, must approach the dollar with fairness and respect, particularly when it comes to managing their own exchange rates. In this way, Trump's warning to Iraq is more than political rhetoric, it's a demand for systemic transformation. It asks Iraq not just to tweak its currency auctions or adjust its exchange rates slightly, but to fundamentally rethink how it manages its monetary sovereignty in an interconnected world where the dollar still reigns supreme. It is a push for Iraq to finally resolve the inconsistencies between its stated economic goals and its actual financial practices. It is, ultimately, a signal that in the emerging global economic order envisioned by Trump, loyalty, transparency, and fairness, especially toward the dollar, are the currencies that truly matter. Thanks for tuning in to Iraqi Dinar Update. If you found this content helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a beat on Iraq's evolving financial landscape. Stay informed and stay ready.